Hey everybody. I just wanted to talk a little bit about today. About today. So, if anybody ends up watching this, joining in, you're more than welcome to chime in, say whatever you need to, do whatever you need to. It'd be awful nice of you. So, I'm just gonna get straight to it. Lately, I've been job searching and trying to find some different things to do and offer different services to people and see what they think about it. More or less just to assert for myself what I need to do or what would be most beneficial to my area. And it's a long road. It's gonna take some years. It's gonna do all of that stuff. It might not. Who knows? Maybe I'll figure out the secret recipe and everything will go great. And maybe I'll be able to provide that secret recipe to everybody else too. I wanted to talk a little bit today, though, about the kinds of problems that I would like to fix and the kinds of problems that I believe other people would like to fix, too. But I don't know. I don't really know everything that everybody wants, but I know what I need. And ultimately, I need to pay bills and make money and provide for my family and be a man. And I feel like being a man, you have to still be kind of centered with who you were when you were a boy. And I can remember when I was in my teenage years, all throughout high school, all I wanted to do really was smoke a cigarette. I didn't care about nothing else. And to this day, nicotine is still a very bad habit, I feel like, that I carry, but at the same time, there's a lot worse in the world, realistically. Is it great? By no means. No, I'm not endorsing it. I don't care. I don't support it. Speaking on my habit. But I ran into a kid on my way home today. I was walking, and I couldn't really tell if he was a kid or not. Because he was a teenager, assumingly towards the end of years of high school. And he was peeping me out. I could tell he was peeping me out. I don't really know what he was aiming for, but he was peeping me out. And so I hit my vape, hit my own nicotine, my own trusted nicotine, because truthfully, I don't know who I don't need to watch. I've done some time, and maybe that's from that. Maybe it's just from adjusting over time as a man to guard myself and to make sure that I am completely aware of everybody that's around me, even if I don't know them. And truthfully, I'm honestly more comfortable with strangers probably than I am with the people I personally know. And I feel like a lot of people are like that. And it's not anything against the people I know, and they know that. At the end of the day, I just know that the people I love and know are doing their own thing and chasing their own life. And for the most part, I've accepted that relationships sometimes are better when they're that close at a distance. Because it's already that close. What do we need to be doing all this extra stuff for? So, regardless, I keep on pushing, and I can see him kind of dismissing me in his mind at a certain point, and he changes that though. He turns around, and I can tell he's talking to me, but I got my earbuds in, and at first I just pause my music, let me see if he's actually trying to talk to me or not. So I look over, he looks at me, and I can tell he said something. So I take him out, bam, bam, put him up. Start walking towards him just to see what he needs. What is he, what's the deal? What's going on? So I get closer to him, and he's kind of barely talking, but he's trying to ask me about the old vape. He's trying to ask me about the vape. Can I hit the vape? Can I hit the vape? I was like, how old are you? Because he really could have been grown, but I didn't know that for sure. And honestly, I ain't really the type to just hand out my vape anyway, unless I have known you for at least a little while. If I work with you and you out of cigarettes or something like that, and you need to hit a vape, fine. Or if you're my woman, we can lose all these vapes together. So, anyways, I explained to him I don't feel comfortable until I know he's grown. I say, you grown? And he's like, yeah, I'm grown, man. I'm grown, bro. I'm grown. I was like, okay, I bet. I said, so you're what, 21? And he was like, I'm grown, bro. I said, no, bro, no, you're not. No, you're not. He said, bro, I'm grown. I said, no, you're not, bro. I said, you probably what? I said, you might be 18. And he said, man, I'm grown, bro. He said, look at my ankle. So I looked at his ankle, right? And he's got an ankle monitor on. And I thought, well, damn, hell, he might be a little grown. But he ain't 21. And he ain't 18. And he's definitely still a kid. And so I said, man, you could have still definitely got that in juvie. Because I done been in some trouble. I know how this stuff goes. And so that's where the kind of conversation almost stopped at. He wasn't mad, and I wasn't mad. We were both kind of laughing because I could tell that he was trying to convince me that he was grown, and he knew that I knew that he wasn't. And I never did let him hit the vape. Never did let him do that. I asked him to just walk with me just a little bit. I knew he probably could walk too far, so we just walk a little bit. And while we were walking, I just asked him, what does he want to do? Why are you in trouble? What happened? And he kind of gave me a little bit of the rundown on it, and I'm sure it's something along those lines, but to be perfectly honest, I'm not sure what all it is. And I don't have the time to judge. I don't have the time to be making a decision to do any of that. But I do have the time to try to instill a little bit of something for him. And I've truthfully ran into this a few times with these adolescents, these teenagers that are coming up. I don't know what else I can offer them besides the experience I've went through and how my last 3 years have been. And they haven't been phenomenal, but they were damn sure better than being in a cell. And the last 3 years has probably realistically been the most successful and best years of my life, and the times where I've grown the most. So I exposed him to that. I told him, hey, I've done 5+ behind bars. I've been in all them situations. I went to juvie when I was a kid. I got kicked out of school. I did all of that stuff. I learned a lot from it. I wouldn't advise nobody to do it, but I learned a lot from it. And in our conversation, I just shared the things that I had in common with him and whatever else. And these are the kind of problems that I feel like ultimately need to be addressed, because he might be 10 years younger than me, but in 10 years, he might be 10 years more successful than me. Or he might be 10 years behind everybody else. Or he might not be here. And that was another thing that maybe I shouldn't have said. But whenever a teenager, when a young man is in that life, it's hard for the reality to set in that death is real, and that it doesn't matter if you're doing good or bad. Life don't care about none of that. Life, reality, they don't care if you are a orphan saving Christian saint from a place and environment where everybody is on that same mission, and you're sanctified by every circumstance you could be. Life doesn't care. Life will throw another thing at you to take it away from you. And sometimes it'll take it away permanently. You'll just be gone forever. You won't get it again. And you'll go to wherever you go to, if you believe in going to anywhere else after you die. And I just wanted to kind of share that. I wanted to make sure that something like this is understood. People, it might be a good idea to try to encourage us all to eventually start figuring out how to cooperate with each other in person again, because I feel like that's where the value is created. I could try to bring as much value to you as I can through this phone, or somebody else could try to match the same value, but at the end of the day, the value is in person to me, from a person that came from in-person interactions and learning by watching somebody else directly, or somebody else directly correcting me. Those are where I got the most value from. And bless that little kid's heart, I feel like he was a lot more centered, hopefully focused at the end of the conversation. It didn't last long. It might have been a 5-minute conversation. It might have been a little bit longer. But the people who he's related to, they are on their own mission too. They're on their own little success mission. And I just told him, Matt, why don't you try to talk to those people? Why don't you try to give those guys a chance, you know? It didn't seem like he was mad at him. It didn't seem like they have some kind of bad relationship. So even if there was a bad relationship, there's no harm in trying to make it better. So I just wanted to share that with everybody. Maybe if nothing else, I can give you pieces of my life as this goes along. We can build trust with each other, because what I'm coming to realize is that maybe it's hard. Maybe it's hard to trust that a person could bring you any value at all in any way, especially if they're from here, especially if you're in the Midwest like I am, especially if you can relate to anything I've talked about. Yeah, I know it's hard to trust. So maybe we can establish commonalities between each other as a group of people and try to focus more on things like this and see what we can actually do with it. See how we can bring money together. See how we can bring value together. See how we can readjust a lot of these things. So, appreciate y'all's time. I hope that y'all are having a great, successful day. And I just want to encourage everyone to remember, you got it. You got it. You got it. Not me, not a group. You seek it out, you'll find it. You work for it, you'll get it. You wait for it, it's probably not gonna come, to be honest. If you wait for it, it's probably not gonna come. You kind of got to go get the stuff you want.